Hi guys, today we're going to do something. It's going to be probably about a two-part to this one. This is going to be Black Ops 4 Zombie Voyage of the Damned, all of the Easter eggs, all of them. So what we'll do, we'll start with the first one, but I'm going to tell you how to go about getting them. Right. The first one is draining the water. The very first thing you will want to do is go through the motions of unlocking a pack-a-punch. Is drain the water from the cargo hold and the engine / turbine room. Follow the steps below in the pack-a-punch section, which I'll tell you about in a bit, to activate the Sentinel artifact. Then when you return to the forecastle side and go down into the cargo hold, make sure you do this at the same time as the pack-a-punch pedestal. When you reach the cargo hold pack-a-punch, look to your right hand side. Against the wall should be a red handle attached to some pipes. Go up to it and interact with it to slowly drain the water from the room. By the time you come back, the water should all have gone. When you make your way to the turbine room for the third pack-a-punch pedestal, swim past the pedestal to the boiler room. There's an identical red handle underneath a light on the right hand side next to some blue pipes. Do the same thing again and the room will gradually drain all the water. Once both are completed, you will no longer have to swim. Right, now this is how to unlock the pack-a-punch. Right, unlock a pack-a-punch needs to be your first main aim in Voyage of the Despair. It's not particularly difficult. You just need to get from the forecastle end of the boat to the poop deck. Unlock the bottom door in the forecastle to go through the staterooms. Then keep unlocking the doors in front of you to get to the opposite end of the ship. When you open up onto the poop deck, you'll be able to see a blue light on a raised platform in the distance. That's the Sentinel artifact. Head towards it and interact with it. When you do, an explosion will happen in the distance, and you will see the artifact shoot a red light to the pedestal on the ground below. This is a pack-a-punch pedestal. There's 4 of them around the map. To unlock the pack-a-punch machine, you need to interact with all 4. But be aware that the final pedestal you interact with is where the machine will spawn. Unlike other maps, the pack-a-punch machine on Voyage of Despair rotates between all 4 points. But for the early rounds, the poop deck is actually the ideal place to have it. I'd recommend taking the fast travel from the poop deck back to the forecastle, then interacting with the pedestals in the following order. These have to be done in order. First one would be is the cargo hold. Head to the mail room beneath the forecastle and unlock the door to the cargo hold. Swim under the water to the very back of the cargo hold to find the first pack-a-punch pedal. Then the next one is the lower grand staircase. The huge staircase in the middle of the ship is a great way to access each level of the boat. Head to it down the same path you travelled to reach the poop deck at the start. Then when you reach the staircase, keep going down until you cannot go down any further. The pack-a-punch pedal should be in front of you, shrouded in darkness. Then you've got to head back to the turbine, sorry. Now you've got to head to the poop deck again, but rather than go up the stairs to the very back, there should be a doorway that leads down underneath the poop deck. This will take you to provisions. Open the unlocked door just past the room full of slaughtered animals and you will be in the engine room. Jump into the water and swim down to the back of the engine room to find the turbine room with a pack-a-punch pedal underwater next to the red turbine. Now you gotta go back to the poop deck now. Right, finally go back up to the poop deck and interact with a pedestal. This will cause the pack-a-punch machine to spawn there on the poop deck, the most accessible location of the 4. It will eventually rotate to one of the other spawn points. Although approaching a pedestal, it isn't as at well, and we'll tell you where it is. Now this one is obtaining the Kraken Wonder Weapon. There are 2 ways to get the Kraken. Through one is far more reliable than the other unless you're particularly lucky. The first method is via the mystery box. Of course, there's a plethora of weapons it could give you instead, so you might be there for 10 rounds wasting 950 points each time, or you could get the gun on your first try. If you'd rather obtain it for definite, you'll need to follow a much more complex series of steps. So you've got to follow these as I'm saying them. You've got to watch the whole video. First you'll need to kill a stoker by shooting its weak spot, indicated by the glowing areas. Stokers are the bigger fiery chaps that use shovels to fling out hot coals at you, and we found they don't tend to appear until about round 10. So this method isn't the quickest. When you kill one by shooting the weak spot, it will drop the stoker's key. Now you will need to find a treasure chest on the map that can spawn in one of 5 locations. Location 1 would be the mail room, the room below the Fork Castle. The castle can spawn to the right of the staircase. That's in the mailroom one, or it could also do in the turbine room as well. Take the fast travel portal from the cargo hold to the boiler room, then head into the engine room and back to the turbine room. The chest can spawn to the right of the pack-a-punch pedal at the end of the path. Then the next one would be the provisions room. Head back up the stairs the same way you unlock the room at the first to get to the pack-a-punch pedestal. The chest can spawn in the slaughter room / or the freezer. Then you got to head back over to the gallery as well, and you go through the dining hall and into the gallery. The chest may spawn in the back left corner. Stateroom is the last one where it would be respawn. The final potential spawn location is at the very back of the ground floor stateroom, next to the door to the millionaire's suite. When you find the chest, you'll need to use the stoker's key on it. You then need to feed zombies to it by killing in them nearby. It will absorb the zombie souls. Then when it's satisfied, it will vanish and teleport to one of the other 4 locations. Do this twice more and eventually an item will appear in the chest. Depending on which item you got, these are locations you need to go to. You got to get the binoculars, and they're in the forecastle. At the very back of the spawn area, a wooden box on the right hand side will have some binoculars on. Then you get that, and then you need the compass, and that's on the boat deck. At the top of the grand staircase, take a left onto the boat deck, and the wooden crate on the left will have a compass. Then you got to get the globe, and that's found on mid deck. On the right hand side of the mid deck, a globe will be on the wooden crate. And then you need the tool, and that's in the aft deck. The aft decks are right next to the poop deck. When facing the poop deck, head to the left hand side, and there's a small tool on another wooden crate. And the telescope is found on the poop deck. Finally, head to the very back of the poop deck to find a telescope on another crate. When you approach the right crate for your item, an enormous tentacle will explode out of the water and drop the Kraken wonder weapon onto the crate. Pretty nifty, ain't it? I will tell you how to upgrade the Kraken, and then part 2 I'll go about the ballistic shield, how to get that. So for upgrading the Kraken wonder weapon can be placed into a pack-a-punch machine for a standard upgrade called the Crusher, but you can also add one of 4 elementary effects to the gun to turn it into one of the following: Jamun's Fang, Grip of Akamuni, Inkabua, sorry if I'm butchering these names, Roar, or Breath of Levitin. To upgrade the Kraken or the Crusher, you need to obtain 4 parts. 3 of these parts can be found in the following areas. Okay, part 1, the first part, you've got to go to the cargo hold. When you're at the pack-a-punch pedal, turn round and the part can spawn on some crates to the left hand side. Now the next part is still in the cargo hold, or it can also spawn towards the middle of the same area on some other luggage. Okay, so them are the 2 places it could spawn. Right, now part 2, you've got to head to the gallery. At the back of the gallery, on the table blocking off the ferry area, head down the corridor to the opposite end with some shelves. The part can also spawn on the leftmost shelf next to some rolled up pieces of paper. And the last part is part 3 of upgrading the Kraken. Head to the first class lounge. Head to the A deck part of the grand staircase. Go through the door on your right next to the mystery box. Then up the wooden plank used as a ramp. The part can spawn on the first table to the right. Then the first, and back in the first class. Stay in the first class, I mean. From the first spawn point, look around the corner to your left, and it may spawn another table in the room. Now go to one of the 4 elements upgrades. You need to kill the elements and soldiers, the zombies. Each time you kill one of them, one of the mutated ones, they'll have a chance to drop some plasma corresponding to their type: fire, ice, poison or electric. Once you've got the plasma for the type of Kraken you want, head down to the engine room and approach the crafting table to the side of the room. Interact with the table with all 4 parts will create a distilling kit. It costs 6,000 points to upgrade, but you can then interact with the kit and upgrade your Kraken. You can do this multiple times as long as you pick up the plasma each time, and it refills your Kraken's ammo. Bear in mind that later on in the main Black Ops 4 Zombie Voyage of the Despair Easter egg, you will need the Jumanda's Fang, the poison version of the Kraken. So that's part 1 of all of the Easter eggs about unlocking a Pack-a-Punch and upgrading your Kraken and how to get the Kraken sword, the Kraken gun. I will do part 2 of this Easter egg one. The next part, they will be starting with building the shield, and I will be adding that sometime tonight. So keep your eyes out, subscribe, turn notifications on so you never miss any more Easter eggs from the Black Ops 4 Zombies. Cosmic Gaming out.